Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. And thank you for inviting councillors from Environment Waikato to comment on this. Environment Waikato doesn't have a direct role in relation to gambling as a local authority, but I would say that regional government does have an influence on the economy and therefore the living standards of its community. So I will briefly focus tonight on what I think are a few things that Environment Waikato, and hopefully myself as a representative, can do to address poverty and inequality in our region. Firstly, I believe that addressing poverty requires a mix of long and short-term solutions. I think in the first place, short-term assistance can be delivered in part by how we manage the rate impacts and providing for things like rate remission policy so that people can afford their rates and pay them in an affordable way. Providing affordable passenger transport is one thing that I think the Regional Council can do and does do, as well as total mobility. And this is a way of assisting transport disadvantaged, and often those are those with the lowest socioeconomic background. I think this gives them access to healthcare, other essential services, and of course social activities, which is very important for their overall well-being. Environment Waikato is now focusing on reducing transport disadvantages to those living in the rural areas, which is a very big problem because we have a very ageing population in the rural areas, perhaps through things such as community vans, dial rides, park and ride and those kinds of things, and I would support that ongoing. EW is also addressing air quality issues in several communities that have poor air quality and lower incomes to pay for heating improvements. We are in partner in the Clean Heat initiatives that will reduce both the harmful emissions and so poor respiratory health in places like Tokoroa and Tipuiti, who cannot afford to address these problems for themselves. For the long term, Environment Waikato can look to create opportunities for increased economic growth, and this is a long-term way of addressing poverty in my view. We will create economic growth and jobs through managing new initiatives, and I just pulled up a few examples. Aquaculture in the Coromandel, finfish farming and shellfish farming and things like that will create some employment in the Coromandel. Now the Coromandel has some of the highest rates of social deprivation in our region. Also there's industries that can grow and provide employment, such as forestry needs to come back into the picture. It used to provide employment for a lot of our people, and could do again. We're working through with the Hamilton City Council through Future Proof to ensure that cities and towns grow in a healthy way. This is important. This includes protecting our special outdoor areas, which I know is vital to health as well as to biodiversity and nature's health, but also people's health. I think we've got to avoid building slums and grow really good passenger transport.